Greetings from the new Serengeti office. We are delighted to be hosting our esteemed client, Valamar, a distinguished Croatian tourism enterprise. Valamar stands as a beacon of excellence in the hospitality industry, boasting a portfolio of over 35 hotels in Croatia and Austria, along with 15 premium camping resorts on the Croatian coastline. Recognized as a trailblazer in Croatian hospitality, Valamar continually embraces innovation, ensuring its position at the vanguard of the industry. In pursuit of digital transformation, Valamar embarked on a journey to implement pioneering strategies, requiring seamless integration across diverse departments. At this crucial point, Valamar needed a facilitator and a partner who would help them transition into the digital age. This is where Serengeti came into play. My name is Ana Milas, Serengeti's very own Director of Marketing, and today I'll be speaking with Roberto Gobo, the Director of Digitalization at Valamar. Roberto, could you please introduce yourself, your career path, what are you doing at Valamar, and a bit about the company?
Yeah, my career started almost 30 years ago. I was studying in Ljubljana, so I joined the company in Slovenia that had 19 people, and we grew to 800 people. It was a software startup at the time, and I was lucky enough to be among one of the first engineers there. And we worked on really interesting projects for Hewlett-Packard, and the team was the organization was quite interesting. I enjoyed it because we grew so fast, so many technologies, low-level programming. And over the years, I worked across maybe different continents. I stayed quite some time in the United States, in Ireland, in India, in Austria. And 15 years ago I came back to Croatia, did my own startup, and later on I joined one multinational, and 6 years ago I joined Valamar. So now I'm in Valamar 6 years. I am managing the digital department. We are focusing on digital strategy and implementation of our digital projects. Valamar is one of the leaders in Croatian hospitality. We have 51 hotels in 6 destinations in Croatia and in Austria. And we actually welcome about 1 million guests a year in our hotels and camping sites.
Serengeti is Valamar's strategic partner. One of the key projects that we worked on was integration of all systems within the company. So what sparked your decision to choose Serengeti among all the other companies?
We work with two kind of strategic partners, because we feel that it's always good to have two partners. The factors that influence our decisions are quality of work, it's commitment to work, it's technology quality of engineers, it's the way how company focuses on project, it's how you handle challenges, how you behave when there are bad times or good times, how do you help us, what is the commitment that you show. These are the factors that we look into when we choose the partner. One of the benefits is also that partner is not too small and not too big. Too small, so you feel when someone leaves the company. Too big, they don't have strong focus on you. So Serengeti was the right fit for us, and what we liked a lot, that even if we miss an engineer, it's always replaced with someone even better, and there is a focus on kind of technical capabilities of engineers, which is very important for us.
Given the critical nature of this integration we've done, What were the deciding factors that helped you choose Serengeti not only for one project, but over 4 projects? I think we've done 4 or more projects together. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
4.
4, yeah.
So
4.
I would like you to tell me more of the deciding factors why you picked Serengeti instead of other companies.
Okay. The main one is experience in integration, because your company had quite some experience in integrations and working also with bigger customers. The second one was technical quality of engineers that joined our team. The third one was flexibility in working the way how we envisioned to do it and deliver it, working with multiple team members from our team, our company, different company. And one of the key is really your focus on the client, which for us was very important, because when you work with us, we feel that we are the only client you have, even though we know that you have multiple clients. But I think that's really valuable.
How big is your team in Valamar?
My team has 15 people, and we grew over the years to 15 people. Our main focus is really technology, architecture. We focus on guest and guest experience, and we look to have kind of experts within the team, but the development, the delivery of projects is done by partners like Serengeti.
Nowadays, everybody's talking about user experience. So each one of us has an app, or like me, I have like 50 apps on my phone. So what's very important is that you have very good user experience. And if we compare hospitality business to this, it seems that this aim to provide the best guest experience has peaked over the years. So what I know of are some of the projects that you've been doing with our team regarding the guest experience, some smaller, bigger projects. So could you tell me a little bit about that? What are we doing together in this sense?
Okay. So in Valamar, we believe that there should be, since we are a hospitality company in leisure business, people come for vacation or for skiing. So the human factor and human interaction is the most important one. The guest experience in terms of platforms or applications is support and should provide the guest possibility to choose their own channel in communication and interaction with us. One of the good examples that we are doing together is application for our children that are visiting our hotels. It's called we have a brand called Maro, and when children come to our hotels, they play with our Maro mascot, and we have playrooms for them and so on. However, it wasn't digitalized. And with your help, we actually provided our guests Maro passport or Maro digital passport, so that when our children come to our playrooms, they parents digitally sign the form, because we already have all the data about the children, and we know exactly who is in the playroom, what are the preferences, can the child leave the playroom without the parents or not, and so on. So this is something that we actually, in cooperation with our Valamar business, responsible for this segment. And Serengeti, we were able to provide our guests easier way to check in the child in our playrooms.
I would go back to the integration project again. So could you describe the process of integration? So I believe you have many apps. How does that look? How does that work?
Yeah, the integration it's not about integration, it's about how the whole kind of idea happened is that if you read about hospitality, if you listen, there is always a hype about personalization. You see the personalization everywhere when you want to go to a particular site to order food, or if you want to buy some clothes and you are shopping, or you go to Amazon and so on. You actually have personalization. If you watch Netflix, it's personalized because the content that you see or the product that you see are actually personalized to fit your needs. And the same is with the hospitality. In hospitality, we can do personalization only if we know what our guest wants, what they expect, and what are their preferences. Unfortunately, in past, our platforms that interact with the guest were silos. So information was stored in one platform, the other didn't know about it, and so on. There are multiple platforms, each with their own view on the guest. What we said is, for an example of call center, if you call our call center, we want our sales representative to know as much as company knows about you, so that the experience in talking with the agent is actually personalized. Agent knows what you like, what are the preferences. If you send us email, we know who you are, we know what you like. If you go to our website or mobile app, it's easier than to personalize. So the main focus of our integration project was to connect in real time multiple platforms, and we decided that by 2025, 90% of all our guest information will be integrated in our platforms. We are now at about 70%, so we have a couple of more platforms to go, and that would mean that in any touch point as a guest you arrive or you interact with us and you give us your permission, we will actually store that so that we could be better in interacting with you in the future.
Do you think that's a standard of today's hospitality industry in general?
It should be the standard. Not all companies are in this stage. In our area, I would say that we are the leaders. We are competing with big brands. We are competing with big OTAs, booking sites like Booking.com or Expedia and so on. So it is important for us to focus on guest data, and that first-party data, as they say, so that we could personalize it. Even though smaller companies or one hotel as such, they don't have capabilities or budget to do that. So that's maybe one of the challenges for smaller hotels. Even us, in comparison to some other brands, are smaller, but we actually optimize what we do, and we feel that this understanding of the guest and collecting and stitching the data together to provide us insight is the critical point for personalization.
Exactly. So the bigger the business is, the more personalization it requires and custom software.
Actually, you always need personalization regardless of the size of the business.
Okay.
It's just the bigger the business is, the more the easier maybe it is or more relevant it is to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you have 1 million products, you can't have a guest to choose among 1 million. If you have 5 products or one hotel with a couple of restaurants, it's much easier. So,
how has the integration of these critical data hubs, Kafka, Connect, Azure services, how did they revolutionize Valamar's operational efficiency and guest experiences, of course, together with it? And also, big question, how did it help you make data-driven decisions based on this?
Okay, I think it's a great question. The best way is to explain it maybe through one example, because that way it's very easy to see the benefits. I'll take example of our call center, because this is where we, Valamar, kind of feel lucky because invested a lot in direct sales. So we are one of the leaders in percentage of direct sales that we generate overall. because we generate about 63% of direct sales, which means that out of 100% of the sales, 63% of them are booking either through our website or call center, which means that our call center generates a lot of revenue for us. However, we had some challenges in the past. And we decided that we have to invest in technology to help our sales representatives be more productive and that they could do their work easier. So we introduced this data platform or data hub, as I said, that we connected the different sources like booking engine, property management system, CRM, and similar. And we built something called Guest 360, view on the guest. And we bought interaction platform for agents. So that would mean that you as a guest can contact us either calls, emails, chat, WhatsApp, and
it actually
Facebook.
works.
And yes, and it all goes to our agents. So our agent have one interface, and independently of the channel that you contact us, it will come to agent to one application. So they don't have to switch and so on. And if you call, it will open your profile, and agent will know the information that you allowed us to see.
Okay.
And with that, and we just made sure that technology works fast, we were able to cut the duration of the call for 3.5 minutes. In practice, that would mean that we doubled the sales in call center in 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. We were able to increase the amount of emails that we answer. Bear in mind that we have about 500,000 interactions with our guests every year. So it's important that you are timely because the booking depends on the speed of which you can provide the guest an offer. And our emails answered in 24 hours were on the 60%, approximately 64%. Now it's on 99%. So 99% of our emails get answered within 24 hours, in a couple of hours. Then our calls percentage answered was on 88%, now we're on 98%. So basically what we've done, we enabled our sales representatives to have information on one place so that it could be faster and it could personalize offer to guests, and it provides us financial benefits. You know, doubling the sales in 2 years, it's really something. But on the other side, we also improved our performance of the call center. That's maybe a good example how technology can actually help business work better. And the benefit is, of course, for our guests, because they don't need a lot of interactions to get their reservation.
So what you're saying is that you actually felt the ROI on your investment?
Yeah, we calculated it. It's about 9 to 12 months ROI, which is quite high.
How has the integration helped in handling data from resources such as reservation systems, customer feedback platforms, web interfaces, and even loyalty programs?
Well, it helps us because the more you know about your guests, the easier it is to understand them and provide them the service that they need. Mm-hmm. And it all boils down to data. Actually, when you have some data, you need to have a correlation among data so that you have information or valuable information that provides you some insights so that you could provide service and then improve on it. So the data helps you first to provide better service and then to measure it and improve it. So it's a kind of a circle with the data. You need to provide the information, you need to do some insight, you measure, you improve, and the benefit is for all. Yes. Not just us, but our guests, the most important part, and our employees, of course.
Okay, like in any project, I'm sure that not everything went by smoothly. So could you tell me about an example, perhaps in data silos, where you had a challenge and how you overcame the challenge?
Yeah, mostly in past companies would buy a product and they would use it. And then For example, you have a property management system and you store the data there when you arrive and so on. Then you have a CRM where you store some other data. Then you have a website that has some other data. But if you want to understand more about the guest, you need data from each product. And usually they are not connected together. Sometimes they are in a basic level, sometimes they're not. And for us, the challenge was how to collect data, because each product has different technology or different capabilities. Like in one product, you can get data maybe through the database and you can connect directly to the source of data. On the other one, no, you have to go to some web services. On the third one, you can't do anything, you have to export it and import it. So that was the challenge for us, because our goal was to do it in real time. Because the more you do it in real time, the faster you can make a decision and you can trigger some events that are needed for business purpose. And that was the biggest challenge, how to interact with all these platforms and how to get data almost in real time.
Could you share insights into a specifically innovative solution or technology that was used in this project?
I would say innovation is in the way how we connect data. We use technology that is quite some time on the market, like Apache Kafka for streaming data was actually developed in LinkedIn and then it was open sourced. The thing is that a couple of years ago when it started, not a lot of companies in hospitality were using that technology to collect data, to interact with the data and to stream the data. And the other one is that we use a cloud database so that we could scale automatically instead of using local databases. And maybe the third one is that besides that we actually introduced a cloud analytical platform. Basically all solution that we provided is cloud-based. It can scale automatically and it streams data in real time. So I would say that real-time streaming and using the cloud without having to maintain all this infrastructure was kind of benefit and in a way innovation, because not a lot of companies do it that way.
What other projects are being done in collaboration with Serengeti?
So we expanded that Maro Passport project and now we are doing the second phase. We are also creating mobile app for people that work in the playroom. So besides that we digitalized the passport, we also provided people that are running the playrooms to be digitalized, to check who is in the playroom. We also have a lot of games that we provide to the children, so we maintain and track who has particular game, how long they have remaining until they can't play, because we have plenty of children and just some television and PlayStations, so they need to share the games. And we decided we'll do the digital platform so that children can see how many minutes or hours they left until they have to leave someone else to play as well, and so on. So that's one type of the project. The other one, we are really expanding this Guest 360 platform because we want to expand this to the whole company, not just the call center, so that each employee in Valamar that needs to interact with the guest can see the information relevant for him, and that's where Serengeti is helping us, and quite some other projects as well.
Now, a big question. With all the successful implementation, what other digital projects is Valamar preparing in their workshop for the future guest experience?
Yeah, there's always things that we prepare. Some of the things that we still can't expose because we need to be on the market with them. One of the things that is interesting is platform for renting a bike or renting a sunbed. This is something that we are working on because we want to have same experience for our guests through all hotels and camping sites. Because this is something that we want guests to experience if they go to one hotel and then the next year to the other, or the same year, that the experience of renting something or requesting something is always the same.
And the last question for you is, given all this that you told me along the interview, what would you say? Would you recommend Serengeti as a partner in digitalization?
Yeah, I would always recommend Serengeti, especially because you really focus on the client. And for you, it's important that you deliver on your promise and that you kind of adjust to the client's needs and that you are flexible. So that's really a benefit that we don't see a lot of times. And this flexibility to work with the client and to have clients satisfied, that's really an advantage. And the second one, equally important, is technical quality of engineers or the people that come from your company. And I would say you should maintain this kind of know-how or this approach, because I would say this is one of the key advantages that I see on the market from Serengeti.
Well, thank you, Roberto. Thank you very much for your time, for coming here and sharing all this information with us. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. It was really a pleasure to be here and discussing with you this kind of interesting topics for me. Digitalization and guest experience is always on the top of our list. So thanks again for having me.
Dear everyone, thank you for watching another Serengeti's testimonial video. I hope you enjoyed it. For more information about digitalization and our work in hospitality industry, please visit www.serengetitech.com.